All right. I've got an addendum to my last episode, number 29, Bites and Stings. I've got some information I was not aware of, actually, and I thought was pertinent. So we're going to talk about that real quick. I'm going to go back to the brown recluse, the Loxosceles reclusa. Again, here's a picture of the spider to give you a general size. Kind of these long, skinny legs, narrow abdomen, skinny thorax, and then with the classic fiddle presentation on the back of the thorax. Again, here's the distribution, mostly in the southeast and parts of Texas. Now this is the bite that is known so that after a bite, the tissue eats away, becomes necrotic and dead. Typically we watch it and we'll have surgeons come in and take out the dead tissue, and it can leave these big gaping wounds that sometimes require surgery to get fixed for skin grafting. Here's the pictures that I had on the previous presentation that show several days of this wound. You can see where somebody took a Sharpie and sort of marked the initial area, and then you see this kind of deep red tissue destruction underneath the skin. Here's the surgical debridement where they cut away the dead tissue. And this is over a week out where the tissue is now starting to heal, and this will take a skin graft to close. Well, here's a friend of mine, a fantastic man and a hero to the United States. He is a 3-star general retired from the Air Force. He was the Surgeon General. He's flown combat missions, and he's a surgeon. So I met with him at a Rotary meeting up in San Antonio, and we were talking about a variety of things. And he was talking about a recent friend of his that had a misdiagnosis that they thought was a staph infection, but was a brown recluse bite, and he saved surgery by treating him with Benadryl. Which made me say, what? Benadryl for a brown recluse bite? I hadn't heard of that yet. I did some literature search, and that was definitely not in the things that popped up, but he was telling me a case series and gave me a presentation on his laptop, and I thought it's probably worth including here. So if you want the journal article that he published, it was in the journal Family Practice Online. Here's the link that you can go to and see it. Here's a copy of some of the stuff that he put, and he's proposing a very conservative treatment with Benadryl alone, or diphenhyramine, or an antihistamine. So he published a case series. Putting together research on brown recluse spider bites is kind of tough. These are uncommon bites, and so you have to have what's called a case series. You can't really have a randomized trial very well. And so he was publishing just his experience, and he presented several cases, and he had several on his laptop that he showed me of bites that looked to be brown recluse. It had the necrotic appearance, and he treated with Benadryl alone with very significant improvements. And so he's saying that if you think it's a brown recluse bite, and you treat with antihistamines and check it in 24 to 36 hours, and if you're seeing improvement, then stay on the Benadryl for 7 to 10 days, and that this can hopefully prevent unnecessary surgery. So Benadryl is a trade name, just like Kleenex is a trade name for nasal tissue. Diphenhyramine is the chemical and medication. So if you're looking for less expensive versions, typically these generics are a lot cheaper than the brand names. So there you have it. Treat with Benadryl if you think it's a brown recluse bite, and see if it gets better. I think the next time I come across one of these, I'm going to give that a try. If you want to learn more about Dr. Carlton, here's a book called Firefight: Inside the Battle to Save the Pentagon on 9/11. Dr. Carlton was actually in the Pentagon when it got hit. He ran back in the burning building. He personally drug several people out and saved their lives, and sort of the chaos. And he's just a truly amazing man, and like I said, an American hero. And it's a great book, worth the read. And if you need to get a hold of him, he is at the Texas A&M Health Science Center, and I'm sure he'd be happy to sign a copy of the book. All right, thanks, and we will get the next episode out pretty soon on all the different diseases that you can get from a tick bite.